What you call as this body, what you call as this world, what you call as the universe is just a play of these five elements: earth, water, fire, air and space. Only five things. How much mischief! If you learn to handle these five things properly, entire life is taken care of. So the most fundamental process of yoga is called Bhuta Shuddhi. Bhuta Shuddhi means how to cleanse the five elements within the system, how to refine the elements. The same element is present in various levels. The same element is rock, the same element is tree, the same element is an animal, bird, insect, and the same elements are human being. It is the same element in different levels of refinement. So these elements, if you further refine them, then all human beings are not in the same space either. We cannot compare one to the other, in so many different ways they are different. So refinement of these elements will render you to a space where your perception is of a very high order, where people will perceive you as almost superhuman simply because your elements are sufficiently refined and your ability to perceive life is so much higher than what is normally considered average. So in these elements, 72% of your body is water and about the same proportion for the planet too. Another 12% is earth, another 6% is air, another 4% is fire, the remaining is space. So essentially, for health and well-being, you only have to handle four, not even five. Only if you want to enter mystical dimensions of life, then the fifth dimension of the elements become relevant to you. Among all these, water is important because 72% of your body is water. How to treat water? There is substantial amount of experiments and scientific studies on this, but more than this, in the yogic system, we have an enormous knowledge about how to deal with water. We've always known this, that the water in this tumbler, if I just look at it in a certain way, the molecular structure of the water begins to change. The chemical composition of the water will not change, but the molecular structure of the water will change simply because if I look at it with, let us say, a certain level of blissfulness, the water will become one way. If I look at it in anger or anxiety, it becomes different. And if I touch it, I can change the quality of the water in a matter of few seconds. We have done various kinds of experiments to do this. In India, generally people are aware of this, that people want to drink that few drops of water. I think it's there in every culture, largely forgotten in the modern world, but in every culture somewhere it is there. The way the water has to be kept in one's home, there is a whole science about it, how to keep it, in what kind of material, how to treat it. Nobody drinks water traditionally in the East without first bowing down to it, because how the water behaves depends on how you treat it. Today, modern science is telling you water is like a liquid computer. The volume of memory and intelligence that the water carries, and every molecule of water and every body of water is very individual, and how it behaves within you is very different. But to put it very simply, if you keep it in the right kind of material, glass is okay, plastic is definitely not a good place to keep it, but if you keep it in a copper vessel and just drink it overnight or about 6 hours, you keep it in a copper vessel and then drink it, you will see the water will feel very different, and various small ailments that people have can be just healed simply by keeping the water in an appropriate space. An appropriate space also means proper aeration is there, and how you treat it above all. Your emotions, your thoughts about the water, being conscious about it, that this is a major ingredient of who I am right now. This is not a commodity, this is life-making material. If you treat it with the necessary reverence, for lack of vocabulary I'm saying reverence, or love towards water, or a feeling of joy towards water, you will see water will behave very differently within you. There are many experiments regarding this and how it changes. For many people, just by changing the water that they drink and how they drink, I have seen many people walking out of chronic ailments just by doing that.